Your resume bullet is lying. Not because you are dishonest, because nobody taught you how to write them for the hiring team. I have reviewed tens of thousands of bullets, and most of them say a lot without saying anything. And today, I'm handing you the 4-part framework I call CAFE. By the end of this video, you will rewrite at least one bullet point that actually gets read. I'm Tejal Reeves, ex-Amazon recruiter, 15 years in recruiting and HR. I've been on both sides of the table. At Amazon, I ran interviews, including the bar raiser process. I know exactly how resumes get evaluated at one of the most competitive hiring pipelines in the world. And what I saw over and over throughout my career was qualified people getting skipped. Not because they weren't good, because their bullets didn't show it. That is a fixable problem. Let's talk about how. Here is what a recruiter is actually doing when they open your resume. They're not reading it, they're scanning it. You have 3 seconds, maybe 7, before they have made a preliminary decision. And if your bullet looks like a copy paste of your job description, they've moved on. Here's the part that's going to sting. The reason your resume gets skipped is not because you're underqualified or unqualified. It's because your bullets are written for you and not for the person who needs to decide to interview you. The CAFE method closes this gap. Before I give you the fix, I need you to understand what's going wrong. I call it the task trap. Here is what that looks like. Responsible for managing a team of 5 people. Assisted with customer service inquiries. Supported logistics operations across 3 distribution centers. Now, read those back. What problem were you solving? What did you specifically do? What changed because you were there? None of that is in those bullets. A recruiter reading those cannot tell you apart from the 200 other people who submitted with similar experience. The task trap happens because we describe our role, not our results. We write what we were, not what we did. Here's the test I use with every resume review. Read your bullet out loud and then ask, so what? If you can't answer that question, the recruiter can't either. That is the bullet to fix. Now, the CAFE method. The CAFE method is a 4-part framework for writing resume bullets that answers the so what before the recruiter even asks. It stands for cause, action, finding, and effects. Yes, the coffee reference is intentional. This is the caffeinated career channel after all. Each letter is one ingredient. You need all 4 to write a bullet that actually gets you an interview. Let's walk through each one of these. Cause. This is the context, the problem you were brought in to solve, the challenge you were working against, or the goal your work was attached to. The cause is the why behind everything else. Without a cause, your bullet just floats. The recruiter has no stakes, no reason to care what comes next. With a cause, they lean in. Here's an example. A weak bullet starts. Manage inventory systems. The same bullet with a cost, with stockouts costing the team $40,000 per quarter. You haven't even gotten to what you did yet, but the recruiter is hooked because the stakes are clear. You don't always need a dollar figure for the cause. Volume signal works too. As the team scaled from 20 employees to 80 employees, when the turnover hit 40%, after a product recall affected 3 regions, set the stage. Make the challenge visible. Action. This is what you did. Not the team, not the manager, not the we work together too. You. Use a strong, specific verb. Tell me the how. I rebuilt the tracking workflow using automated alerts and macros. I designed a 2-day onboarding program. I sourced and screened 42 candidates in 6 weeks. That action tells me what your skill set actually is, not what your job description said. Strong action verbs, you can use that signal capability. Built, designed, negotiated, launched, reduced, led, grew, managed, recovered. Weak filler verbs that you should cut. Assisted, supported, helped, involved in, participated in. If you're using those words, you're writing yourself out of the story. Findings, effects. I'm teaching these together because they are your proof, and most people skip them entirely. Findings is the data, the number, the metric, the before and after measurement. Reducing manual errors by 62%. Cutting time to hire from 45 days to 23 days. Increasing retention by 18% over the next 2 quarters. Effect is the business result. What changed at the org level because you did this work? Revenue recovered, cost reduced, a product shipped on time, a team stayed intact. Together, the F and the E turn your action from a task into an achievement. Here's the most common objection I get. Tejal, my job doesn't have a number. Let me push back on that a little bit. Every job has something measurable. Hours saved, headcount served, errors reduced, frequency increased, risks lowered, coverage expanded. If you truly can't find a number, get specific about what changed, allowing the team to shift from manual tracking to proactive tracking. Specificity is the next big thing to a hard metric. Let's look at the full transformation. Let's put all 4 parts together. Before Cafe, we had responsible for managing inventory and logistics operations. After Cafe, with stockouts costing $40,000 per quarter, I rebuilt the inventory tracking workflow using automated supplier alerts and macros, reducing manual errors by 60% and saving 8 hours weekly per team member, which helped my team hit Q3 targets 2 weeks ahead of the schedule. Same person, same job, same years of experience, but one of those bullets gets my attention as a recruiter. One quick note, I showed you the Cafe in 4 labeled parts to make structure visible. Your final bullet reads clean, 1 to 2 sentences, no labels, just impact. I worked with a client recently, marketing manager, 12 years of experience and had a strong background on paper. She'd been applying, I believe, for 6 months and wasn't getting many callbacks. We sat down and pulled up her resume. Every single bullet started with assisted in. We wrote 8 bullets using Cafe. 2 weeks later, she got 3 interviews. Same experience, same companies, different bullet points. The resume did not make her more qualified. It finally showed her qualification. That is what happens when you write for the recruiter instead of for yourself. Here's your homework for today. Open up your resume, find your weakest bullet, the one you know is meh. Run it through Cafe. What was the challenge? What did you do? What did the data show? What changed for the business? Hey, if you want a guided tool to build this, I have getselected.app that I built for you all. And if you'd rather work with somebody one-on-one, you can go over to domyresume.net. I have 2 doors for your single destination that will get you an interview. And if you did your homework, make sure to drop the before and after bullet in the comments. I would love to see those and I'll give you feedback on the ones I see. If this helped, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Every week, I bring you the recruiter's perspective, the one most job seekers don't get to hear often. And until next time, stay caffeinated.